Good morning, everyone. This is Trevor, and today we're starting on the cross-site scripting labs within Portswigger's Web Security Academy. The first one we're doing is a reflected XSS into HTML context with nothing encoded. So it's a simple reflected cross-site scripting vulnerability in the search functionality. To solve the lab, perform a cross-site scripting attack that calls the alert function. All right, well, that sounds simple enough, but we have a little bit of work to do on our lab. So currently, we have shop, SQLi, utils. All of this is within the SQL injection folder. In order to use that in a, so I'm going to make dir, I'm going to actually make cd XSS. To use these same functions, it's going to be real difficult in Python to make that happen, unless we do something like this. So if I go back to the main parent and I make a directory called utils, and then I'm going to copy SQLi/utils. I'm going to put that in utils. And then I'm going to do the same for SQLi and template. I messed up on all of those. No, just the last one. CP, SQLi, utils. CP template, SQLi template, utils, CP shop. I think that was the only one I had left. SQLi shop, utils. I think that's right. So that looks like we got shop, SQLi template, and utils. Now that I have them all in this folder, just LL, you can see that folder. What I'm going to do is change directory into XSS, and then I'm going to create a symbolic link from, and I always forget the order, so I'm going to just try it one way. If it doesn't work, I'll do it the other way. Utils to utils. Hey, that looked like it works. All right, and then ls utils. We have those three files. We should have four. What are we missing? Shop, template, utils, shop, template, utils. We don't have SQLi. Let's grab it just to make it all uniform. So I'm gonna CP SQLi to utils. There we go. XSS. Now we have them all in here. So this means that I can still import from all the scripts in here any of the libraries that we've created. I'll do this again from now on, is I'll just symbolically link this folder into whatever category of labs that we're working on, so that we have those folders. Let's update our template, vim utils template, to reflect that. So instead of import utils, we're going to do from utils, import utils, from utils, I think it may be utils.shop. We'll double check this, but I think that's right. All right, let's get going with our first one. So, what is the lab called? HTML context, nothing encoded. Vim HTML context, nothing encoded. .py. We're going to take our template and paste that here. Now, let's access the lab. While this comes up, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment anything that you've learned or want to learn or want me to talk on. Anything I can do better, stuff like that. So, from the description, it sounds like the XSS is just in this search function. We can kind of verify that by using something like this, blah search, and inspect this. We do see that it is bold and our bold came through. That's a good way to test bold. If anything's allowed, bold is probably allowed. It allows us to view the things. One thing to keep in mind is that as we inspect these, you want to make sure you click on Edit as HTML. The reason why is because this window may lie to you. It may show up as less than, like the less than sign, but in actuality, it may be the ampersand LT semicolon. We'll probably see that, so I'll remind you when we get to that. Just keep that in mind for now. All right, we've got a blog site. I don't know if you noticed this, but it is not a shop. It is now a blog. So let's do some modifications to our, we want XSS utils. Let's create a new site class. That site class is going to be the parent class, and then shop and now the new blog, excuse me, are both going to inherit from that site class. So %site pi, and we'll do %blog.py. So we've got these two new classes. We need to edit the shop class. What we're going to do is take everything that's similar between them and place them in the site, and everything that's unique will go into their own class. We'll need to use the super function again, and I wish I remembered how to do that. I'm gonna have to look it up. So this is what we want. We want to do in the site class, site, we're going to capitalize it. We're going to do def init. And we definitely know we need self. Now, let's see. From the site class, we'll take base URL, login URL. I don't know if that's going to be the same yet. So let's take this. No proxy session, not the category. So we can take those things out of here. Base, no proxy session. We'll leave those two. Get hint, probably. I can definitely see that being used. So let's move that. Login. Again, I don't know on that one. Is solved, definitely. Get category, definitely not. That is a shop thing. And that's it. Okay. So let's fix this guy up. And we're going to use the same format we did here. So all of those. We need the from utils, import utils here. We need log, requests, regex, and time. Log, requests, regex, and time. There's log. We need URL 3 and requests. We need this and this. We just need import re import time. All right, let's fix this up. That looks fine. Space, that looks fine. We need a space there. Let's put 2 spaces there and 2 spaces there. That looks good to me. Let's write that. Let's now go to our shop, and here we're going to do the super. Man, I wish I could remember. I know we just looked this up in one of the last ones. Python super subclass supercharge. I think it's super here. I'm going to put that first. Instead of length, we are going to put in URL, no proxy, and session. That should do it. Hint, login. I think, didn't we move hint to the site? We did. So we can take out hint. Leave login for now. We're going to take out is solved. And we're going to leave category for now, right? Hint and is solved. Perfect. I'm going to remove time. So shop should now work with our site parent class, and this is a subclass. We need to add this here, which is site capital. We need to make sure we import that. So instead of utils, we're going to do from utils, import utils, and from utils dot site, import site. That looks good. Now let's create the blog class. We're going to do it very similar to what we have here. We can just highlight this and then remove what we don't need. Which right now it's this, this, and this. Well, let's leave requests. What did I? Let's leave requests in. And we need to also leave, if we're doing requests, we want to make sure we have URL lib3 in both here and here, because we don't want those warnings populating through here and here. All right. We're going to leave requests because the first thing we are going to do is write that search function that we need for this lab. Let's first write it in our script so we know how it works, and then we'll move it into this function. Here's our script. Utils.shop. We do not need utils.shop. We need a from utils.blog. It's lowercase blog, import blog, capital case. Why did I name this shop? This should be blog. Man, I hope I didn't confuse too many people there. Let's just review real quick what we did. Updated our template to include the new folder structure. We created this site class. This will be the parent class for every type of website that we are attacking in this, in these series of labs. We moved anything that can be used between many different types of the lab. So like is solved, where this same logic is going to probably be used in every single one. If it's not, it'll be the exception. That's my bet anyway. And then we updated the shop class so that it inherited from the parent class, which is site, and then added on functionality that was specific for the shop class. Right now that's get category and login, but I suspect login we'll move this to the site class also, so it'll just be get category. Now, in the blog class, our first task was to do the search functionality. We are going to do blog equals blog. We need args.url, args.noproxy. Same way we would normally. We can add a session equals requests.session. Sesh. And we want to do that search functionality with the payload. So we need to... The question is, does it have a CSRF token? Form, I don't see a CSRF token. So it sounds like we can just search here without worrying about that. We don't even need to get the base URL. Let's go to our proxy HTTP history. We have nothing, which is interesting. Let's turn on burp. I'll refresh this, close this, and I'm going to search for blah. What I really want to do is just see the format right here. So I'm going to add search equals. I'm going to create a new search right here. It's going to receive in. Let's not have it do the session for now. Let's just have it do the what search term. And then we'll do requests dot, and it is get, right? Yep. Get. We want URL, the base URL. It's going to be easier, just put this in the class. So we already have the base URL and everything defined in there. Let's just do that. Sorry, I'm jumping all around today. We want one blank line. So def, search, self, search, term. We're going to do requests.get, the self.base URL plus, I don't remember, it is on the clipboard, plus this. So the base URL, remember the base URL is normalized with that backslash, so we'll need to remove it there. And then plus search term. Let's just define this as our URL. So we're going to remove this. We're going to put URL equals all of this. Log.info searching for searching URL. Let's just do this URL. Throw in a log there. Now we can do the request. Let's do it the way we normally do it. So if self.noProxy. So if no proxy is true, I don't want to use one. Resp equals requests dot get URL. That's it. We don't need anything else. Else resp equals requests dot get URL proxies equals utils dot proxies verify equals false. And we'll just return the resp. Do we need to log anything here? No. Okay, so there's our first, function. Let's remove these for now. Our first function or method within the blog class. Awesome. Here, go back to our script. We're going to now use that here. Let's remove this session. And I'm going to not, if we do login, if we need to log in, I'm not going to use session there unless I need it. So we're going to blog.search. That's what we named it, right? In the blog search. And then here we're just going to search for our payload. Let's start out with, the test. Whoops, I didn't need this. And we'll say resp equals print resp.text. Let's just do this to test. We've made a lot of changes and so far haven't done any tests. Let's make sure this is live. It is. Let's go here and do one. You see my virtual environment is not alive, so let's make that alive first, or activated. So I'm going to go to the parent directory. Remember, you'll do source.venbin activate if you're following, normal conventions. Of course, I have that as an alias to Seva, and so you can see it's now alive. I'm going to go back to the XSS folder, and I'm going to do Python, HTML, and paste that here. Let's see what these are the results, research results for, and you can see we get our thing there. So all we need to do is blog.is solved, and we don't need to even save the response. We just need to search using cross-site scripting. So this will be a super simple one. We're just going to do a script, and we do need to, it asked in the description, solve the lab that calls the alert function. So we'll just do script alert and script. That should be it. That should solve it. We didn't end up using the request, so I can delete that one. And let's try it again. Lab is solved. Boom, there we go. All right, so XSS number 1 is done. We made a lot of changes to the overall scripts to finish this lab. Primarily, we made this site parent class and moved functionality into here that we think will be common between the different subclasses. We made 2 subclasses, one being the blog, the other is the shop. In each, we subclass, or we run the init function from the parent, and then we add in any functionality that the specific class needs. For the shop class, we currently have login URL and category URL. For the blog class, we have the search functionality and get category here. That makes our code, we don't duplicate code. I like that we're doing inheritance. It makes our exploits super small, super simple, easy to understand. That's it. For the exploit, we just did script, a real basic script, alert1, end script, and then we checked if it's solved. That's it. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Goodbye.